Assemblyman Graf.
Good morning. I'm over this way. I know you just got there. I'm another Suffolk County representative. And what I can tell you, I'm going to reemphasize, the MTA tax is killing us. It's killing people. It's killing jobs. It's killing businesses, right? And it's making Long Island harder and harder to afford to live there. With that, I just have a couple questions, because most of the questions have been asked as far as the MTA is concerned. Are you looking at any way to wean yourself off the MTA tax at all, knowing that there's a lot of people out here, a lot of representatives out here that want this tax to go away? Are you keeping that in mind when you're going through your budget process?
Our budget process has very much kept in mind the need to be able to utilize our resources as effectively as possible. Last year, as I said, we reduced our operating costs by $525 million. In the budget that was adopted by the MTA board looking forward from 2011 to 2014, we intend to increase the amount of that savings from $525 million to just under $1 billion a year. The aggregate savings from when I arrived at the MTA until 2014 will be $3.8 billion a year. All of that is necessary to be able to stay within the financial parameters that have been set up by the legislature, the existing tax structures, and to stay and be cognizant of the fact that there is not to be another fare increase until 2013, the beginning of 2013, as had been looked at before. I hope you will see in what I've said and what we've been doing that we are very much focused on reducing the cost structure of the MTA, as well as where opportunities present themselves to be able to increase the revenues coming to the MTA from non-fares or customer resources. For example, we've worked very hard throughout 2010 to be able to increase resources coming to the MTA through advertising revenues. We've engaged in innovative ways of being able to do that, and I think it's actually been widely recognized that the MTA has gone from a position of being relatively in the back of that to the front of the pack, bringing real innovation and activity into the advertising space and bringing more money into the MTA from doing that as well.
All right. Can I ask one other thing? The governor has redesigned teams, and we're looking at mandate relief. Have you given the governor's office a comprehensive list of the unfunded mandates that have been placed upon the MTA, all right, that are basically overburdening you and costing revenue that's unnecessary?
We are working with the governor's office in regard to any areas where changes could relieve burdens or could improve the productivity or efficiency of the MTA, yes.
Okay, that's not what I asked. What I asked was the unfunded mandates that are placed upon the MTA. Have you made a comprehensive list of those mandates?
I think they're within what I had said. We're working with the governor's office to be able to look at all of the places in which there are actions, requirements, regulations, whatever it would be the case, that increase the MTA's cost structure and that could be changed in the interest of efficiency and productivity.
Okay. Now, have you changed the way that the MTA has done their audit and control procedures? How are you self-auditing? Have you changed that procedure in any way?
So we have, I can let Bob speak to the external audit process, and we have an internal and an external audit process. Are you referring to, I think your comment's really about the external audit process? Is that
the internal? You do internal audits, right?
Yeah.
Have you changed that in any way since you've come on board?
We have a consolidated internal audits process. I think what I have changed has not been so much the structure of the internal audits process, but the engagement with the internal audits process. We meet regularly. We've refocused the activities of the internal audit process so they're more tightly focused around areas where we can look to save money in both our operating budget and our capital budget. And I'm happy to say that I think they've been very successful in doing that. In essence, we've made the internal audit process and the internal audit team part of what's enabling us to achieve the savings that I have talked about here today.
Okay. Thank you.
If you'd
very
like the external audit, Bob can speak to the external audit.
Go
as
ahead.
well.
Thank you very much. The external audit, we probably do more than just about any other governmental entity. We have quarterly reports that we do. Now, they're not audited, but they are reviewed by Deloitte & Touche, our external auditors. And we make those quarterly reports available to the general public. It's posted on our website. So again, in terms of our external reporting, a great deal of time and effort goes into it. And I think you'd find that we are well in advance of any other government agency out there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Senator Carlucci.